Before the world knew his name, Arnel Pineda was just a regular guy at rock bottom, sleeping in bus stations, digging for scrap metal just to survive. No rich parents, no Hollywood breaks, just pain. But he had one thing others didn't, a voice that refused to stay quiet. Arnel Pineda was born on September 5th, 1967 in Tondo, Manila. His mother loved music, and from a young age, she had him singing songs by Karen Carpenter and Barbra Streisand. This was where his love for music started. But life hit hard. When Arnel was just 13, his mother died from heart disease. Her death didn't just break his heart, it broke their family. The medical bills piled up. They couldn't pay rent. Everything fell apart. Arnel had to quit school to help his father with the bills. It was a disaster. He didn't just grow up fast, and he had to survive. For 2 years, he had no home. He slept in parks, on benches, wherever he could. Some nights, all he had to eat were a few Marie biscuits that he stretched over 2 days. He collected scrap metal, bottles, old newspapers, anything he could sell for a few coins. This wasn't a movie. This was his life. But even when he had nothing, he still had one thing: his voice. And he never stopped singing. On the underground scene, Arnel would sing anywhere he got the chance. In his room, at small venues, to his friends. His passion for music had turned into an obsession. He chased every opportunity, no matter how small. And even when the results didn't come, he never stopped. By 2006, Arnel had been through it all: the grind, the heartbreak, the burnouts. But he never gave up hope. Back in the Philippines, with the backing of respected TV director and talent manager Bert De Leon, Arnel made another move. This time, it was with his longtime brother in sound, Monet Cajipe, the guitarist who'd been with him through every stage, every band, every name change. Together, they formed a new group, the Zoo. They signed with DeLeon's Sundance Entertainment Corp., performing club shows almost every night in Manila and Olongapo. Then, in September 2007, they dropped their debut album Zoology under MCA Universal. In 2007, the world was finally catching up to what Arnel had been doing in the dark for years. Clips started surfacing on YouTube. The Zoo performing classics from Journey, Survivor, Aerosmith, Zeppelin, Eagles, Stryper, legends. Pineda wasn't just covering, he was singing with so much passion, it was hard not to notice him. And one night, someone important did. Neil Schon, Journey's lead guitarist, saw the videos, saw the voice, saw the spark. He reached out to Noel Gomez, a fan who had uploaded the clips, asking for Pineda's contact. June 28, 2007, Pineda gets this email from someone claiming to be Neil Schon, the guitarist from Journey. But he doesn't believe it at first. He thinks it's some kind of scam, like someone's playing with him. He pushes back, wants proof. He even tells the guy to get on webcam so he can be sure it's really Neil. Eventually, Arnel discovers it was real. Journey really wanted him to audition. They exchanged numbers, and this was the start of a legendary journey. 2 months later, on August 12th, after a tough visa process, Arnel and his manager, Bert De Leon, flew to Marin County, California. He was about to audition for Journey. The real Journey. The same band whose songs he grew up singing. For him, it didn't feel real. It was the biggest moment of his life. When he walked into the room and saw the band in person, he was starstruck. He shook their hands, looked around, and it hit him. This was really happening. It wasn't a dream. Then came the audition, and it wasn't just any audition. He was singing for one of the biggest rock bands in the world. The pressure was huge. The nerves, the excitement, it all came crashing in. But somehow, he got through it. He did what he came there to do. A few days later, while Arnel was back at the hotel, Schon showed up to take him out. That's when he broke the news. He got the job. On December 5th, 2007, it became official. Arnel Pineda, a regular guy from the Philippines, was now the lead singer of Journey. No big celebration, no dramatic scenes, just a quiet moment that changed his life forever. Then came the real test, his first live show. February 21st, 2008, the Viña del Mar International Song Festival in Chile. A huge crowd, a live broadcast, 25 million people watching. Backstage, fear took over. Arnel was terrified. He started doubting himself. Just 2 minutes before going on, Arnel was so nervous that he even told the band he wanted to back out. But it was too late for that. Neil gave him a small push and said, "It's time." And that was it. Arnel walked out onto the stage, heart racing, knees shaking, but he does it. He sings. And that moment, that was the beginning of everything. The stage was massive. The pressure, even more so. But Arnel did what he'd been doing for decades in the shadows, delivered an exceptional performance. The reception was massive. The audience loved it. The press reacted and called him a perfect fit. His voice, somewhat similar to Steve Perry's, the band's former lead singer. Keyboardist Jonathan Cain said it best. Is the guy a winner? Yeah, he's a winner. He's a clutch player. From there was no stopping him. March 2008, Vegas shows. June, Europe tour. July, and back to the US. By September, sold-out shows in LA. What was more crazy was that during the time Arnel found success, he was already 41 years of age. He turned 41 on stage in Toronto, making his success all the more remarkable. In just 1 year, Arnel had already performed in 57 concerts. June 3, 2008, Journey dropped Revelation, their first album with Arnel. It debuted at number 1, 5 on the Billboard charts, went gold in days, platinum by October 2009. That same year, the tour pulled in over $35 million. Arnel was now performing in countries he used to only read about: Japan, China, United Kingdom, Ireland, Netherlands, and then home, Manila. In 2012, the good vibes continued for Arnel when a quiet yet meaningful chapter began in his life. While the noise of sold-out arenas, screaming fans, and global tours still echoed around him, something much softer, much more personal was happening behind the scenes. On June 15th, his daughter, Thea Chanel, was born. Arnel and his wife, Cherry, had already been through a lot together. Married since 2001, Cherry had stood by him through it all, from the stressful auditions to the bright stage lights. She wasn't just his partner, she was his anchor during the tough times, a constant in a world that barely stayed still. Arnel had 2 older sons, Matthew and Angelo, from previous relationships, and a younger son, Cherub, with Cherry. With Thea's arrival, their home became even livelier. But managing a life split between 2 continents, the Philippines and the United States, wasn't easy. Flights, schedules, time zones, it was a lot. Still, Arnel made the effort to be present. If nothing else, he was going to give them what he didn't have: stability, love, and a father who showed up. But being Journey's frontman wasn't always smooth sailing. 2017 was a year that put Arnel's name back in the headlines, but not for music. A photo surfaced of him at the White House, shaking hands with then-President Donald Trump. He was there alongside Journey members Jonathan Cain and Ross Valerie. What was meant to be a formal visit turned into something far bigger. The band's lead guitarist, Neil Schon, made it clear he wasn't happy with the move. And just like that, a single photo stirred waves of controversy within the group. But Arnel didn't see it that way. To him, it wasn't about politics or power. He later came out to deny being involved with any political party or religion. The turbulence didn't stop there. From the moment he joined, fans never stopped comparing him to Steve Perry, the group's former lead. Between 1978 and 1987, Journey didn't just release hit songs, they defined a generation. Don't Stop Believin', released in 1981, became a cultural anthem. And in 2009, it made history again, becoming the top-selling track on iTunes for any song not released in the 21st century. Steve Perry wasn't just the frontman, he was the soul of the band during these times. When he joined in 1977, Journey transformed from a rock group with potential into a band that moved people. His voice carried weight, it had range, soul, and emotional depth. Journey became iconic because of him. No one could deny that. But fame came with a cost. Behind the curtain, Perry struggled. Physical exhaustion, creative disagreements, and eventually a hip injury that put everything on pause. When Journey released Trial by Fire in 1996, a tour was planned, but Perry said he wouldn't be available due to the hip injury he had that needed surgery. So the band gave him an ultimatum: postpone the surgery or leave. Perry did not give a reply. Unwilling to wait any longer, the band moved on. Some fans never forgave them. To many, Perry was irreplaceable. He wasn't just part of the sound, he was the sound. After he left, the band tried new singers, but none felt right. Then, in 2007, Schon found Arnel. a man from a rough past who had been grinding for years with nothing but raw talent and heart. No major label, no manager, just his voice and the will to keep going. And the rest is history. When Arnel joined Journey, the reaction was split. Hardcore fans of Perry weren't having it. But something happened that no one could deny. Arnel showed up and delivered. His talent shone above anything else. Perry gave the band its signature sound. He created something new. But Arnel cemented the legacy. He protects that sound, honors it, and keeps it alive. He's not chasing stardom or trying to outshine Perry. He's carrying the torch. And in doing so, he's introduced Journey to places they never thought they'd reach. Especially outside the US, Arnel became a symbol of something bigger. The idea that no matter where you come from, you can stand on the biggest stages in the world and be heard. Some fans still haven't moved on from Perry. They'll always see him as the voice. But it's hard not to respect what Arnel brought to the table. Not just vocally, but in terms of keeping the band active. The band wasn't trying to erase Steve Perry, they were trying to survive. And Arnel gave them that second life. There's no need to compare them. One built it, the other kept it alive. There were more controversies. In 2023, a clip went viral of Arnel struggling to hit the high notes of Don't Stop Believin' at Rock in Rio. This would have been embarrassing for most singers, but Arnel owned up to it. It was a moment of error, the same kind most of the biggest stars have gone through. But when the backlash became too much, Arnel offered to step down from the band if that's what it came to. That's what real ones do. No hiding, no excuses. Now 57 years of age, Arnel Pineda is not just Journey's singer, he is the Journey. From scavenging metal scraps to selling out arenas. From being seen as just a cover artist to carrying one of the biggest rock bands in history on his back. He experienced a difficult childhood marked by poverty and homelessness, but his passion led to his eventual place in a legendary band, and his story continues to inspire fans and audiences worldwide.